Glimmer Paste before? If you have not, Glimmer Paste is a dimensional paste very much like texture paste, embossing paste, and other paste materials on the market. The only difference is that Glimmer Paste has glitter in it, so it makes it very shiny and beautiful to work with. I'm going to be using the Nuvo Tonic Studios Glimmer Paste, and I'm going to be using it with some stencils. Stencils are a great product to work with Glimmer Paste, and I'm going to be attaching a couple of stencils here onto my cardstocks. The first stencil I'm going to be using is this large flower stencil from Hero Arts. I'm also creating a border around the edges of the stencil so that way the Glimmer Paste does not go all the way to the edge of the cardstock. You could have it go all the way to the edge, but I wanted to have a little bit of border showing from that purple cardstock, just to help frame the Glimmer Paste. Now to apply the Glimmer Paste, I like using a spatula, so some sort of palette knife that allows you to spread the Glimmer Paste across your cardstock. You could use something even like a credit card or a harder surface that has a nice flat edge to it. I'm covering the entire stencil with the Glimmer Paste, making sure I have a fairly even coat of that paste. Once I have the entire surface area of this cardstock covered with the paste, I'm going to remove the micro pour tape, which is what I use to adhere my stencil down onto my paper and also frame the edges of the cardstock. You can use any sort of light tack tape that you have. As you can see, this Glimmer Paste creates a beautiful, detailed impression on our cardstock, and it looks absolutely beautiful. This is a great way to add really neat interest to your backgrounds and also create a really cool focal point. Now I'm going to step it up a notch on this second stencil and use two different colors of Glimmer Paste on my stencil. So I'm going to start off by first adding some of this beautiful purplish color onto the center area of this stencil, which is from the Crafter's Workshop. I'm applying it to the center area and kind of smoothing it out so that way it kind of feathers towards the outer edges. Not going to go too far, just want to go in that very center area and put a nice even coating down. Next, after I've added that coating on, I'm going to start working in some of this silver color. And in the first areas right around where that blue ended, I'm really going to work on blending this evenly. I want to make sure that the silver and the blue blend together nicely so that there's a fairly smooth transition between the two colors. I'm working just around that center area for the moment until they have the silver feathered in. Once I have added that silver around the edges of the blue, then I can start spreading that down towards the outer edges of my cardstock. You'll notice on this one that I did not add any tape to the edges of the cardstock, and I'm allowing the Glimmer Paste to completely go to the edges of this cardstock. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind when working with any sort of paste like this is that you're going to want to clean off your tools and your stencils and work surfaces really well, so that way the paste doesn't dry on your surfaces or your materials. I'm going to remove the tape from the cardstock and reveal the beautiful pattern that we end up creating by mixing those two colors together over top of this stencil design. I love the effect of Glimmer Paste and how they blend together is so beautiful. This is a really fun way to add some neat interest to your cards. Next, to finish off these cards, I'm going with something very clean and simple and taking this really cute smile shaker die from Pretty Pink Posh and I'm stacking 3 of them together to create a more dimensional sentiment and embellishment. After I've stacked the 3 of them together, I can add these down onto my card. I've let the Glimmer Paste dry for about 6 hours or so, and that way it has time to both dry and cure. Depending on your environment, it may dry a little bit faster or slower, so just kind of lightly touch it and make sure it's not soft to the touch. The surface area might be dry, but underneath it may not be fully dry, so you just want to make sure you press on it and feel if it's actually hard and not soft any longer. So I've added some foam tape around the edges of that smile die cut and I'm adding it down onto my card. Now you notice that the center word, the word smile, kind of hides a little bit in front of that Glimmer Paste. I'm going to remedy that by taking another one of those smile dies and this time just using one of them, and I'm going to cut the word smile out of the circle. On the edges where the words met up with the edge of the frame, I just round those down a little bit so it has a nice finished edge. Then I'll go ahead and glue that right down on top of the blue smile, and you can see it really pops off of this card, so it looks really cool. I also added a couple of supporting sentiments onto each of these cards, and you can see I finished them off in pretty much the same way, although I did add some sequins to that one on the right. I hope that today's video has given you some ideas for working with Glimmer Paste and really adding some fun backgrounds and interest to your cards. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more inspiration. Thanks for watching!